Hey guys, it's derpimation back here again, and I'm back from allegedly committing 26 war crimes. And speaking of war crimes, I'm here to talk about my favorite Pokemon game ever made. Except for this one, and this one. And it's kind of funny that one of my favorite Pokemon games ever made is literally just another game called Nobunaga's Ambition, with Pokemon just slapped right on top of it. You just slapped it right on top of it. But we'll get into that later. So what makes this game so great? Well, let me tell you about it in the next 10 or so minutes. First things first, this is a spin-off game. Kind of like Pokemon Snap, or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, or even Pokemon Ranger. So why is this game so great? Well, it's a strategy game, and less like, haha, I'm gonna beat your animal with mine, and more like, I'm going to rule and pillage your kingdom, kind of fun. And that's the plot of the game. You're a warlord from the humble nation of Aurora with your trusty Eevee to unify the 17 regions of Ransai so you can meet God himself. And each kingdom has a type associated with it, and the arenas change from region to region, and the arenas really feature what type you're going against, adding additional mechanics and changing strategies contingent on the area. Like Aurora for normal, Ignis for fire, Fontaine for water, Greenleaf for grass, Violite for electric, Pugilist for fighting, Cresselia for bug, Lucio for psychic, Terrara for ground, Cragspur for rock, Yaksha for dark, Vipera for poison, Avia for flying, Valora for steel, Spectra for ghost, Nixtrom for ice, and Dragnor for dragon. And through your adventure, you'll find other warriors and warlords to ally with to assist you in your attempt at tyranny, but like, make it cool. Now the gameplay, zooey mama, let me tell you, A+ is across the board. If it's your kind of game. Now, earlier, I mentioned a game called Nobunaga's Ambition, which is a turn-based, grand strategy role-playing game. What that actually means is big brain war game. Now, Nobunaga's Ambition incorporated this really cool thing into the game, which is writing actual people from feudal Japan into the game. Like Nobunaga himself, known as, I don't know, the Great Unifier, the first person to rule all of Japan? Duh. So while I was playing this game, I was looking up these actual people who each have their own lore and life behind them. I think that really does add to the experience of the game, and really puts you in this weird state where the immersion of the game is making this really transparent line to reality. The biggest knock on the game is that your Pokemon only know one move that they can use. But I think it kind of adds to the flavor of the game. You have these war units that are good at flamethrowers and water guns. Sure, they might know how to growl, and sure, they might know how to swords dance, but on the battlefield, in war, they are utilized for what they have mastered. So the gameplay itself crosses between collecting Pokemon and warriors to help you beat Nobunaga himself. So there are a few core game mechanics, like the turn system. The game works as months starting in January year 1 and going until you complete your challenge that's associated with your run. So some runs might say to get X amount of warriors or X amount of Pokemon, or to claim X amount of territories. To get warriors, you have to recruit them. To recruit them, you have to either A, defeat another nation, or B, recruit them from a nation that you already have claimed in caves and parks that are in the nation. So it's thought that it's random chance by most people. But for those of us who have dedicated an ungodly amount of time making spreadsheets and reading forum posts, you know that's an objective-based system. If you beat the warrior within 4 turns, or defeat the warrior without letting them damage you or your teammates, or defeat the warrior using a super effective attack. I love you, Wolfwood44.
Hold it!
So come to find out, while I was replaying the game for this video, they actually explained this in the tutorial. So shoutouts to Wolfwood44 for all of us who just spam the A button and don't read anything. So each warrior has their own special activated ability, whether that be making your attack stronger, or expanding the range that you can move, or even healing your team. Now this is where warlords come in. They tend to have super good Link Pokemon like Groudon, Mewtwo, Dialga, Registeel, Shiny Rayquaza. But the Warlords themselves actually evolve as well, so they get these stronger activated abilities as you play through the game. But there are 163 different warriors in the game, and a total of 200 different Pokemons, including evolution chains. So, some warriors will share the same perfect link with some other warriors. Okay, I can hear you. You're saying, Link? What does that even mean? Okay, so in Pokemon Conquest, instead of catching Pokemon, you link with them. And instead of it being an RNG chance, it's a rhythm game that you press A as these little balls come across the screen. Each warrior has a Pokemon that they 100% link with. Most Warlords have 2, which is the Pokemon that they start with, and a legendary. But warriors, they all have one that they perfectly link with. Link kind of works as an XP system, but it's much faster to gain Link percent. So you can level and evolve these Pokemon just like in the main games. Also, there's an energy system, indicated by a little arrow next to each Pokemon. Based on how the arrow is pointing, whether it's all the way down, middle, somewhat up, or all the way up, the faster you gain Link percent from battles or encounters that you have your warriors go through. But the catch is, each Pokemon in Warriors Link percent has a maximum capacity, so you can only get the Link percent as high as that maximum capacity will allow you. After you complete the main story, you unlock 36 special episodes, each featuring one of the Warlords that you just got done clapping on. You just got done clapping on these boys, and now you're playing as them. In these special episodes, have you doing a specific mission, like I mentioned earlier, getting X amount of Pokemon, X amount of warriors, claiming X amount of territory, and the AI gets smarter in these post-game encounters as well, so it really does add this challenge and save the game from this awkward monotony. But there is one item, a forbidden piece, one item to rule the rest, and that's the Guardian Charm. And the Guardian Charm is just completely and utterly busted. For the low price of $10,000, you can become a god yourself. So, I know it kind of sounds like I'm pitching a multi-level marketing scheme or something, but just hear me out. You get the Guardian Charm, usually in post-game content, from a traveling merchant that visits one of your cities. And what it does is, if you are the last warrior on your team, you get a steep attack and range increase. So that's really good. But what if we only bring one Pokemon? So you're always the last Pokemon alive on your team. And what if we bring a Pokemon that can just consistently sweep parties? That's pretty good. So that's why the Guardian Charm is just so strong. But while I'm on the topic of chance encounters like the Traveling Merchant, I should mention that there are some Pokemon that have chance encounters as well. This is called Swarms. So the Pokemon that appear in Swarms are Eevee, who can be found in Aurora, Pugilus, Vipera, Valora, Audino, which can be found in Aurora, Pansage, who can be found in Greenleaf, Pansear, found in Ignis, Panpour, found in Fontaine, Emolga, found in Violet, Anorith, found in Chrysalia, Drifloon, found in Spectra, Beldum, found in Lucio and Valora, Sneasel, found in Yaksha and Nixtrom, Krogunk, found in Vipera, and Gibble, found in Dragnor and Terrara. And honestly, this adds so much flavor to those areas. And it's really cool, flavor-wise. Now, if you're just doing a casual playthrough and one of these encounters happen, it's really cool to see these random Pokemon that usually don't show up come out. But when you're going for a 100% run and you need a specific Pokemon, like, I don't know, a Krogunk, and you might have to soft reset the game, I don't know, 400 plus times, so then you can go ahead and get one perfect link, and it's the last perfect link you need, it does get a little bit tedious. But overall, I do like Swarms a lot, and I think it does add a lot of content to the game, and it makes it a lot more fun when you do have this surprise encounter out of nowhere. And come to find out, there's actually cheat codes that you can put in, so then these Pokemon will just immediately spawn as well. So if you did want to go and do a 100% run, you could utilize them so you don't have to do the 400 soft resets like someone else did. So I spent well over 300 hours 100%ing this game. Every perfect match, everyone to max level, and completing every side game. And honestly, after all that, all I could say is I just love this game. So here I am, making a video about it. So if you seem interested in it, go check it out. Or if you've already beat it and you just want to fangirl about it, that's awesome too. And if that's the case, then you already know that this is the best Pokemon game in the series. Except for